Hello and welcome back. Hopefully, you have been hanging in there with me. I'm very excited to be here again on for the sixth speaker of the day. For those of you who might be just joining right now with me, in case you're wondering, Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne here. I am the presenter of the Cosmic Evolution Summit. And if you've had the pleasure to follow me throughout the day, you've had an opportunity and the pleasure to meet some amazing women that have shared some amazing stories based on the journeys. We started the morning off with connecting with our inner dragon, and we're moving right along from the astrology to cleaning up our space to crystal work, moving into Akasha records, and also now getting ready to move into the deck doula. Now, keep in mind that all of the speakers' conversations will be available on YouTube. So if for whatever the reasons are, you're seeing this and this is already Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, and you're like, oh, wow, I missed it, you'll be able to go and check that all out. So as I've done with all the other speakers, is I like to just give a little energy for today and reminding you that again, once again, if you are expecting to be in the Zoom room and you're trying to click on the Zoom link you received a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks back, that Zoom link is not active. You will need to pick up a new Zoom link, reach out to any of the speakers besides me, and get that Zoom link. And reason being is when we go into the Q&A for today, the Q&A is not live, nor is it recorded. It's purposely done that way so we can be more intimate and we can really ask the questions we want to ask without being concerned on it coming back to bite us in the butt. So anyway, let me pull a card for us and then we're going to get this party started. See what we need to hear for the day, what card shows up. Very interesting card based on the topic that's going to be showing up. And I'm loving the what's the word? Oh my God, I can't think of the word. Anyway, will come to me later. The pattern, I guess it is, or yeah, I guess the pattern, because earlier this morning, most of the cards that's been showing up was like for solar plex energy. We had one card, which was indigo. I believe it was indigo. And we're back to the compassion, the pink energy. The word is clarity, clarity. And hopefully you've gained some clarity throughout the day with all the speakers that are showing up. I'm loving the number 29. As when we think about the number 29, this number doesn't necessarily get reduced. It will add to 11. And 11 is the master healer. And everybody who's showing up here today is exactly that. And we all are. If you're sitting in the audience, if you're watching the live, whatever it is, know that you're the master healer. You are here to master healing yourself. That is your main purpose here on this earth, is to go through whatever you're going through, whatever your story is, whatever your journey is to work through those different lessons so you can heal you. That's the only person you're here to heal. Everyone else, whether you hold the title as the healer or not, you're here to hold space to support others as they go through their healing. Nobody helps somebody else heals. And that's the process here. So that 11 energy is very powerful. And also, not only is that 11 energy powerful, and I don't know if Kitty's still here with us, but 11 is very significant for Kitty. And we'll talk about that maybe towards the very end at that 7:30 slot when I'm concluding the day, and maybe she'll stay on with me and talk about it as well. Anyway, super excited. We're just about 6:23 p.m. Eastern time, just getting my notes together for our next speaker that's coming in. Because just so you know, normally I don't work with notes. Normally I just, channel energy and it all comes through. But with this particular case for today, lots of notes. My desk, my kitchen table is full with lots of notes. I'm very organized. Otherwise, I would probably not have a clue of what it is I would be doing today. So what I am going to do, and I know we're supposed to start with Nance at 6:30, but I'm so damn excited. How about you guys? Are you excited to bring Nance in now and not wait till 6:30? If you are, just put a heart in the comments if you're in the Zoom room with me. If you're watching live, you can go ahead and just throw up some hearts. But that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to bring her in. There we go. Why not? Nance, how are you, my love?
Oh, I'm wonderful. What a blessed day. This has just been an amazing flow from chaos to clarity.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes,
Bam, right?
yeah,
Chaos to clarity.
yes, it
Yeah,
has. I'm just gonna pull up your bio and hopefully your bio is short. Unlike all the other ones I've read today, let's see, how long is hers? Oh, I have a page. All right, well, here we go.
cut
Gonna
it.
talk, noticing my phone is at 7%. I'm gonna have to grab that charger. Anyway, Nancy Nance. Who is Nancy Nance? She's a brilliant, courageous, international best-selling author whose writing is powerful and heartfelt. She's a public speaker, intuitive breakthrough coach, and psychic medium from, oh my God, I can't say this word. Oh, how do we say that word?
Edmonton?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Alberta, Canada. Yeah, some words trip me up, people. Nancy's skilled and knowledge shines with love and as an energy healer. Strategies are brilliant, effective, supportive, and filled with compassion. I mean, just feel her energy. Oh my God. Her innovative methods help you break through limitations, fear, doubt, anxieties, obstacles, and challenges. Nancy's breakthrough coaching program, Recovery Your Joy, is helping women and men live happier, more meaningful lives. Now, let me say to everybody, I don't know how many times today I've heard the word joy, but that's like the theme. Joy, let's bring the joy to the table. She believes you are a gift and is here to offer you hope for a better way of being. Ah, And her topic is all about unconditional positive regard. Powerful, powerful, powerful. So, Nancy, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
It is
Thank you.
such a pleasure to have you here and
Ah,
share your topic as a deaf doula. Very interesting topic. And let's dive right in. Let's dive right in.
well, I mean, when we're looking at life and death, death and life, we have experiences with people daily. And we plan those experiences, whether we're going to work or we're going to take care of our grandkids or we're lying in bed sick. We always have this preconceived idea as to what our day is going to be like. And we spend so much time planning that. If we're lying in a hospital bed and we've had a terrible experience with a nurse the day before, we can't wait for Nurse Ratchet to come back so we can give her a piece of our mind. And this same nurse, Nightingale, may come into your room in the most kind, wonderful way. So when we imagine our relationships positively and we treat people with kindness in the best possible way we can, best possible way we can. Dee was talking earlier about that martyrdom, that being everything for everyone. And it's really difficult when we've gone through challenges in life to always show up with sunshine and roses. It's
Mhm.
it's really a challenge. So all we can do is do our best. So when I began thinking about the experience of life, the opposite is the experience of death. So
Mm.
we prepare well for death, do we? We've been taught to believe that we prepare well for death. We get a place, a plot. If we're gonna, we decide, am I going to be cremated? Am I going to have a coffin? Am I going to have a funeral? Do I have enough money put aside? We prepare for all those things. And we forget that we have the opportunity in the amount of time that we have, and no one knows for certain what that is, we have a chance to be a living legend. Now,
Mhm.
the beauty of that is that when that information came through to me, came through in the funniest, silliest, you gotta be kidding. Divine messages have to come from archangels, from these master planners. Yeah, well, that was Mork from Orc, Robin Williams. He said that during an episode. He was so excited because he had a chance to be a living legend. And you have a chance to create a legacy. So when you think of how you'll be remembered in this lifetime, how do you want to be remembered? When you enter a room to relate with another person, please remember this acronym for WAIT. WAIT. Why am I talking? We're like Epstein. Is it Epstein? Spirits showing me characters in television. They love to do that. Welcome back, Cotter. Ooh, 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 ooh. We can't wait to give our opinion. Unconditional positive regard allows the other person to be the expert. And who is a better expert in your life than you? No one really knows what you've been through. No one really knows what you want, and no one knows the struggles and challenges that you're going through. And yet we all want the same thing. We want people to be kind to us. We all want kindness. We all want love. So my intention is to bring more hope to others, like myself, who have lost loved ones, and to send a wonderful message to anyone who may fear death. We can plan for life and we can plan for death. It's not an either or. It's not some monkey mind discussion. We can plan for life and plan for death. Planning for death is like planning a wedding. It's an end of life wedding. These are the people that I want there. These are the people that aren't invited to the party. You have a right to say who you don't want in your experience between the diagnosis and the death. You've got a right to say, I don't want Auntie Eileen in the room, Aunt Edna, Uncle Tom, Dick, or Harry. You have that right. And yet, if you don't write that down, how does the world know? You have a right to plan your life too. If you want an hour to yourself every night because you know how important self-care is, you have a right to say to your family, hey, from 6 to 7, I am not available. And that's really hard if you're a codependent. I struggled with that for a long time. And yet I don't know what anybody wants or needs. So when I work with anybody, I don't come in with an agenda. What's up, Buttercup? How are things today? How are things really? And then I shut up and listen. That took a lot of that took a lot of practice because I
Yeah.
was that person that was always interjecting, always interjecting, always interjecting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does take practice just to be open to listening to someone as opposed to constantly be the one that talks. So yes, loving that. Loving that. So as we move on with your process of the unconditional positive regards and trying to read small print without having to put my glasses on. When did you decide to support people in life of death? Because that's an interesting role to play. I mean, most people want to support people who are pregnant, want to support people who are healing, but here you are, Nancy Nance, wanting to support the person who is getting prepared to transition. So when did that occur for you, and what's the story?
Oh boy, that moment is forever burned into my mind in the most beautiful way. My best friend was on her deathbed, and I was really struggling because I had not been able to spend as much time with her as I would have loved to. And it wasn't a matter of guilt, it was a matter of how can I make the best of this limited time that we have together? And I leaned into her and said, "Sweetheart, what can I do to help?" And she looked at me with a lot of profanity in the beginning. We spoke very openly together, and I love that about our relationship. She said, "I want to die." And I said, "Well, I don't know how to do that." She goes, "Well, figure it out." So I contacted people and looked into the MAID program. And then I came back and I told her that I'd looked into it. She was in so much pain. So the filter of what she said, there was no filter. She just said it like it was. And she was, "Come closer." this, this lovely cranky witchy voice. And she's laughing right now as I'm saying this, because she did. It was a bit of a cranky witchy voice, the most wonderful witch in the whole wide world. And she said to me, "You're meant to do this." And I said, "What?" She's like, "Well, help people die, stupid." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, right, because that sounds perfect. Exponential joy and death,
Yeah,
right? Like, are you insane?" And she says, "You'll figure it out."
they do go well together
Figure
when you
it
think
out.
about it.
Pardon?
They do go well together when you
They
really
do
think.
go well together because the process of death is a beautiful process. When families come together and people talk about their regrets, then they have an opportunity to take that time and work with one, two, three, four, five regrets. So many people say things like, "I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expect me to be."
Mhm.
Right? And that's one of the things that I'd hear. I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends to help people that are passing find friends who come and have a cup of tea if tea is what their menu dictates. Some people want to have a shot of tequila in their hospital bed.
Mhm. Well, heck, you're on your hospital bed. It's like, why not? It's at that point in time, there's no need for restrictions.
What do you want? And if your liver says you can't have tequila, we can come up with solutions. Maybe Sprite? Right? Depending upon the situation, we can come up with solutions together. Tell me what you want, and we will work together. And when I say we, the client is always the person that has passed or is passing. The family working together as a unit becomes more positive when there is someone in the middle who is working on behalf of the person who is passing. We need someone in our corner, and I'm in your corner. And quite often the experience begins 3, 4, 5 years before death. If you find out that you have ALS, if you find out that you have MS. Have you seen the movie Stepmom?
Yes,
That's the one Spirit brings through to me often,
yes, yes.
because if I think I have 5 children and I want someone to be that person for them for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years,
Yeah.
who is that person going to be? How
Mhm.
are they going to carry my legacy forward?
Mhm.
What can you putting someone in charge of purchasing Christmas gifts for your family so there's still a gift under the tree, looking at it as a beautiful way to carry you forward. Do you want to play set at the table at Christmas when you're gone? How
Mm.
do you want to be remembered? Beautiful opportunity. And how do you want to live now? You can plan both at the same time. It's not either or. If you're not dying, then we can talk about how do you want to be living.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And it's so interesting because my dad does exactly what you just said for birthdays, Christmas, and any occasion that he gets a chance to give a card to. He always signs the card from him and my mother, always. From from the moment that my mom passed, every card that he signs is always her name on that card. You know, so he's constantly keeping that energy alive and the concept of us knowing that, you know, yes, we still get a gift, a card from our mother along with our dad. So yeah, it's and it's precious too with that.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I love that. Love
Mhm.
that. So what two main questions do you ask your clients regarding the work that you do?
Hmm. Are you ready to live? Are you ready to die? Where do you want to put your focus?
Mm,
Where do you want to put your focus? What does death look like for you? Are you afraid? Some people are very afraid of death, so we work through that.
yes.
Some people are ashamed of the life they've lived. We work through that. So many variables of where, because here you are here, and you're going there. What does that look like for you? Are you ready?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I could definitely see that. It's almost like similar to with your earlier speaker in regards to the one of the members in the room talking about retirement as it's not retiring because you know, theoretically we get tired. So same concept in reference to living,
Mm,
or perhaps are we, as my term would be, or we just sleepwalking because we're not really living. And it's that universal energy as well, because the universe, I I recently read this, whereas if you're not really living your life, you're really waiting to die, and that's the energy you put out there to the universe. So of course, if that's your energetic message that you're sending to the universe because you're not living, then the next step is yes, you're more or less ready to die. So it is an interesting question to ask, and maybe even to have somebody ponder, like, are they really living their life?
mhm.
Or are they like literally just sitting there waiting? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for?
The statistics speak for themselves. After people retire,
Yes.
again, that lovely word, I'm going to
Yeah.
wait for retirement. The life expectancy of someone who retires is not
Yes.
that great, ladies and gentlemen. If you're moving into a transition into the next phase of life and you've got it planned, I'm going to travel, I'm going to do these things, then you've still got that passion. And again, either or. Why are you waiting for someone else to dictate your life?
Exactly.
Mm,
Even with retirement, because again, we're programmed to believe there's a certain age to do this. However, with many of us who are here today, healers, whatever we call ourselves, I believe we're changing the whole format of what we think we should be doing, quote unquote, retiring, rather than retiring, transitioning out of something that we've taken on as a position just to support ourselves and moving more into what we came here to actually do.
that
So
can be the death sentence itself, Joanne,
yeah,
because sometimes what happens is we are pinholed into a position in life because we went to school and did what our parents wanted us to. In my case, that was secretarial arts. And then I went on to administration and all sorts of corporate. And that was the role that I was programmed into. And I remember when I sat down with my mom and I told her how I was changing into a new direction of my life. She was happy for me. She had some loving concern. We had the conversation. And then she just loves how happy I am now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really the key, where when we do find our true purpose or knowing our true purpose, it does open up the vibration of you fall in love because you become happy, happy, happy. So leading us to how does being a transformational breakthrough coach align with being a debt doula?
Well, they run parallel in the way that I work. For me, a transformational breakthrough coach helps people move from here to here. So it's very, very similar, except the end point is a little bit different. If you're working towards traveling more, and that's what you want to break through the patterns that are stopping you from traveling, that is a very different experience than if you're looking at traveling onto the other side. And yet the conversation is so similar. So often when I'm working with people, they'll say to me, I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings.
Mm.
Works on both sides of the playing field, whether you're playing for the life of travel or you're playing towards the end of the veil, because we can't see beyond the veil unless we're tuned in and tapped in to what beyond the veil looks like. I'm blessed to be able to feel beyond the veil, see beyond the veil, taste beyond the veil. I love how Dee was walking us through that journey. And as soon as she said that the pink light came in, I'm like, oh, I know that one. I was so excited, right? It was just beautiful. I describe heaven as tasting like cotton candy and bubble gum.
Mm.
That's one of the ways it tastes for me. I
Mhm.
help people understand what that is for them. You might not like cotton candy and bubble gum, and you may think, gross. I don't want that. Your
I'm a
heaven
big
is
bubblegum
your,
fan, not so much a cotton fan.
what is your heaven? And heaven here on earth. They're very similar experiences.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I do love that. And there's a woman whom I follow, I'm trying to remember her name, who speaks of when we, meaning all of us, go to sleep at night, every one of us goes through the transition of we die when we go to sleep. We literally cross over. And we get
Mhm.
an opportunity to connect with everyone that's on the other side. Now, not everybody remembers that journey of going. I am blessed to say that I have memories of it because I do come back with messages. Because when I do go, it's basically to go as a catalyst, come back and deliver messages. And it's just so interesting where that's when you get the opportunity to sit back and decide, do I like it here, meaning the other side, or do I want to come back? And you get to choose in that moment every single night when we go to sleep. We get to choose that idea of, of either staying on the other side or coming back. Now, of course, as they say, you may be approached by the higher power, and this decision would be, well, it's really not your time to stay here now, so we're gonna scoot you back as much as you may want to stay. So do you find that when you're working with your clients in reference to the transformational breakthroughs and the possibilities of wanting to transform to move to the other side or to stay here, that you're talking them off the ledge, so to speak?
Both sides of the playing field again. How often when we're living life do you wake up and go, ugh, great, it's Monday. Wow. That's it. Like that's the vibration that you're running. That's the pattern that you're running. Every day is a blessed opportunity to build the life you want.
Mhm.
Every day, when you can tune in and tap into that childlike energy, oh, it's amazing. when I work with people that are on death's bed and they're going through a very difficult time, like the breathing gets difficult, I'll work with people remotely sometimes, so they're not even here. Like we're computer to computer, different experience. And they wake up and they're like, "Oh, I'm still here." Right? Like, wow, I had another day. You know, there's different ways of looking at the gift of being alive. And if you're really struggling and you're looking forward to this life moving on to a better feeling place, then maybe the process of death is easier because your physical body, oh, the old gray goose, she ain't what she used to be, right? So yeah, and I use so many of the same modalities in both experiences, whether that's the joy of essential oils. Oilers are a hockey team here in Edmonton.
The
That
word,
was really
yes,
funny.
yes.
Essential oils, or if I'm working with scalar wave energy. Scalar wave energy helps your body unwind from the stress and dis-ease of life, whether you're working towards your legacy in life or your end of life. Right? Like this little machine that I use kind of looks like something from Orc. Hilarious, right? Because it is newer technology, very new technology. It helps me work with people, whether they are in physical pain or emotional pain, spiritual pain or financial pain. Like when you're looking at your bank account and you're like, whoa, this is a problem, and you're focusing on the problem, focusing on the problem, focusing on the problem, you may not have that much space for solutions.
Mhm.
I help people find that space, the space for grace. Such a cool place of being. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and the topic that we're in right now is extremely profound because again, we do have the power every single day, the power to make that decision on transitioning and transforming our life. Where do we want to continue to eventually just die? Or do we want to make that decision to say, you know what, today's the day that I'm going to start living? And
Mhm.
just literally switching, like literally turning on the light where you just make this decision. And I'm sure with your transformational coaching that that's something that people can work with you on where, yeah, maybe up until this point in time, they didn't see a purpose. They just had no to their and
Mhm.
realize like, you know what? I can work with Nance in regards to shifting my thought process and even with a disease, getting to that place of saying, you know what, I'm going to change this. I mean, we hear it every day where whatever illness or disease you have, once you make that decision to make a change, you can heal that illness or disease that you have because you made the decision
Mm.
to do that.
So beautiful. It's so true. There are miracles that happen every day. And I'm not talking about the miracle of you've got cirrhosis, you've got your kidneys are failing, like your whole body is shutting down, and then suddenly, everything transforms. I'm talking about the miracle of feeling more alive.
Exactly.
Right? And that when you feel more alive, your body starts to respond to your thoughts. Your thoughts it's a, yeah, thought, feeling, action, power, purpose. Wow. When you're in a line with your purpose, and your purpose may to be to make your grandchildren more happy. Excellent. A happier you will make a happier them, right? Like there's so many ways of looking at it.
Exactly.
Can I
And
pop my freebie in?
say that again.
Can I pop my freebie in the group meeting chat?
Oh
When can I
yes,
do that?
okay, definitely put
Okay,
that in
good.
there. I'm going to ask you one final question. Go ahead
Excited about it.
in there. And the next question, although we do have a little bit of time, but it just gets so exciting here. In regards to how do you incorporate your energy healing into these experiences? I mean, because you have so many amazing, I'm going to use the word gifts, as a transformational coach, a death doula, a energy healer, bringing it all together. How do you incorporate them all in one?
Well, if you're working with your mindset and you're finding that your mindset isn't optimal, okay, optimal mindset. If you find that you have fears, I help you figure out what fears, and then we work with the Bach flower essences. So, for example, if you're afraid of a known thing, I'm afraid of dying, I'm afraid of being broke. If you can name that fear, Mimulus would be a wonderful option with the Bach flower essences. If you feel like you're in a deep, 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 deep gloom, mustard will help change your vibration. If you're struggling with guilt, pine. And these are the flower essences. It's amazing. Combine that with the scalar wave energy and essential oils, whatever floats your boat, right? Like we all have different desires. Some people come to me and they're like, "Oh, essential oils, not that." I'm like, "Okay, cool. These are the other options on the menu, right? It's a beautiful menu. Imagine having a menu for life with different energy options. So cool.
So let's say someone does come to you and they are against the oils. What other methods do you work with to helping them if they prefer not the oil part of it?
The flower essences have no smell whatsoever, zero. They can be used whether you are with child. If you've got a babe in your womb, you can still use the Bach flower essences. They do not contraindicate.
Mm,
Animals, they work with animals as well, right? There's just so many amazing options. The scalar wave energy it doesn't contraindicate with anything. And that's where supportive energy methods help. Supportive. It's like having crutches when you're learning how to walk. They
yes,
support. Yeah.
yes. So the little mechanism box you're holding in your hand, talk about that. Tell us.
Okay, well, let's experience it. So this is the unwind frequency. So
Oh,
it's
look
a
at that.
frequency
Wow, that's beautiful.
changes, right? If you're connected to your energies, you may feel it instantaneously. If you're not, it might be meh, and you may not like that one. So we'll work through a series. I like unwind because it helps you unwind from the stress and disease of life, dis-ease. So this is quite often the way that we feel.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel after Christmas dinner? Depends upon who shows up, right? Maybe Santa's not bringing you any presents this year, sunshine, right? Like it may not be the best experience. You may be drinking a glass of wine and have that red wine spill all over you onto the carpet. That's stress,
Yes,
right? That's stress. Who doesn't run into a stressful situation in their life? I
yes,
mean, it's normal. It's the experience, the adventure of being alive. If you want a stress-free life, imagine showing up every day and everything turns out exactly as you want. Every single day. It's good for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God, this is so boring. Boring. Adventure is the spice of life. We want different things. So working through the different frequencies, that was unwind. Quantum is the next, returns your body back to its proper hexagonal formation. Cool beans, not exactly into the body unwinds and winds slowly, right? Like it's not like the spirits showing me the paddles when you get your heart restarted, right? That causes a little bit of a hiccup in the system because when you the paddles come onto your body, your heartbeat is never the same again. This is soft, subtle. Children love it. Oh my God. Animals respond to it in the most amazing way. I mean, that there are thousands of frequencies in a machine, and I get to play. Wow. Cool beans, right?
yes, yes. Well, even going back to the comment you made before regarding if everything worked out exactly how you want it, all in the highest good, one day, second day, fifth day, sixth day, eventually you get to that point where like, oh, there's so many people out there that's actually sabotaging themselves of that great joy because they're so used to and comfortable with all of the mess that they go through, that the moment it does get calm and relaxing and joyful, it makes them nervous.
Oh, ho, isn't that the truth? Success is scary.
Yes,
Success is so scary. I mean,
yes,
even just saying it. There we go.
exactly,
That
yes.
throat chakra, right? When I put my memoir out on my 55th birthday, game changer. Oh, game changer.
Yes, yes. And it is, and most of us do block ourselves from success because we're afraid of success. We're afraid of what that would look like and what people will we attract because of it and what people we repel against it. So what we do is oh well, I won't go to that level of success because I don't want to lose the people I love, and I definitely don't want to attract other people. So it's a very interesting tug of war that we do play in regards to, which again, just reeling into that death doula process, that when we are not fully living in our purpose, we are literally just dying because we're not fully living in our purpose. So even if you have a strong heartbeat and not living in purpose, you're actually in a state of death. So it's extremely powerful.
The people
Extremely.
that matter will love you through it all.
Yes, very true.
Mhm.
So my question to you is in regards to your offerings, your complimentary offer, and then of course your paid offer. Talk to us about that for a moment.
Oh, I love the end of life or live your life best planner. It's a downloadable PDF. You download it, you print it, you fill it out, gives you an idea to figure out where you're at.
There you go.
Where are you at? And then if you're looking after that to connect with me, that's where the scalar wave session comes in. Ooh, frog in my throat. Where you get to sit down with me one-on-one, whether it's Zoom or in person, and see where you're planning, life or death. Yeah.
Yes, what you're really planning, because again, something to think about. I mean, I'm constantly every day of my life. I literally do ask myself, am I fully living? Am I fully living? It's not that I'm just living. Am I fully living what I'm supposed to be here to do? It's not just getting out of bed, and it's not just doing my normal routine. I have a conversation with my higher self. I have a conversation with my mom. Am I fully living? I want to fully live. I don't just want to get up and just do. I want to fully live. So this way here, I know that when it is time for me to go, at the ripe age of 106, by the way, 106, yeah, ripe age to that, that when I cross over and higher power has me at the door and says, so have you fulfilled everything you can do? My answer is going to be, I fulfilled everything plus some.
Yes, yes, everything plus some. I love that.
Yes, everything plus
Dream
some.
so big. Dream big enough for God to fit.
Yeah,
Gus, like Dee was saying before,
yeah,
love, love,
yes,
source love. Dream that big. And when you stay on that course, you'll get closer to it. You'll fall back into patterns.
of
Find
course.
someone that can help you break the patterns. It's all patterns. And
Yeah.
yes, when you were talking about success, that's one of the greatest challenges that people have because all of a sudden, if I go and do these things, if I write that memoir, if I take that career path, all of the naysayers, okay, the people that are saying, "Oh, honey, are you sure you can really write a book?" Or the people that are in your story that may not be happy with the truth that you write about.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen? Build a circle of people who will love and support you through that. People that will show up when you send them that code word, right? That code word that says, I dropped a pin. I need you here.
Mhm.
those people, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Support system, man. You need it. Build it.
Exactly, we do. And we're definitely moving in a time for it in reference to as we move out of 2024 and get through all of this Pluto planetary energy we have going on and move into the age of Aquarius. It is about collaboration. It is about networking. It's about finding the tribe that is literally going to be that person, even if it's one person that's going to say, you know what? I support you on your wildest dream. So if your
Yeah.
wildest dream is to do whatever it is, I support you on it, go do it.
Oh, right. That one person that's just like your cheerleader of all cheerleaders. I
Yeah.
love football. I watch football because I like watching players support each other and make great passes.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, my guy sometimes is a real football fan. He's like, you're cheering for the wrong team. And I'm like, it was a good play.
Both teams are good plays. Both teams are good teams, aren't they? I mean, come on now,
Um,
can we like both of
I'm a
them?
Steelers fan. I'm a Steelers fan, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, because my guy is.
Mhm.
And
Yes,
we love sharing that joy together.
yeah.
We've got a trip planned to Philadelphia that is bigger and bolder than anything I ever expected a year ago. Got to work the dream. Got to work the
Yes,
dream. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And I mean, even for you, I mean, if you were to reflect back on your life a year ago, 2 years ago, and looking at your life now, I'm sure it's very different from
Yeah.
what you could have even imagined for yourself. I forget the author who states it, whatever it is you're dreaming right now, dream it bigger.
Mhm.
Dream it bigger because it is meant to be bigger. So whatever you can dream of in this moment, know that that dream is going to be much bigger because that's what we're here to do. Unless, of course, we're sleepwalking and dying as we're in without posts. So
Mhm.
with that being said, share some final words for us for today, in addition to what you've shared already.
There are so many steps available that you may already know. Both Kitty and I understand the 12 steps because we've both walked the steps of an addict. The 12 steps is one method that you may have already started that you just need to continue, right? When you begin to doubt yourself, find a systematic process just for today, just for today. If you feel like you're just making it through the day, reach out and get some support because life is wonderful, brilliant. It's like Kitty put in the comments, keep it simple, sunshine, right? Keep
Mm,
it simple. You don't have to create the whole program in a day. I've been working on my Tea and Tarot program. I've been teaching Tea and Tarot for the last year. I'm creating the Tea and Tarot uni verse one song city. So cool. I didn't have that title at the beginning. I needed to do the work. Do the work, and everything will work out.
love that.
Yeah.
Love that. And if you can leave us with one word of brilliance, what word would that be?
I got to do two. It's choose joy.
Choose joy. Okay.
Choose joy.
We'll give you choose joy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that. I love that. I love your whole journey in reference to helping people to make a decision in regards to living or planning out what you would like to have done, at the time of crossing over. I think it's a really important decision. We think about it in reference to like our living wills, like who we want to leave what to, who do we want to leave what things to what person. Yet we don't plan out on, like you said earlier, do we really want this person in the room in our dying moments? Do I really want this person around me when I'm not feeling so well? I was watching a series a couple of days ago, and apparently the woman has some form of cancer. Her daughters had cancer, but she's in remission. And when her daughter comes to visit her, She comes to visit with all this heartache of like, how you doing, mom? Let me help you with this, mom. And her mom flat out said to her, look, if you're gonna come to visit, I want you to come to visit with joy, with uplifting insight and positive energy, because what you come to bring in my space of my pain, you are bringing me down and causing me to feel worse. And I know that she, as the mom said, she knows what she has and she wants to embrace it in a different way. And I think that's what we also have to keep in mind too, with everyone who has whatever it is they do have. We don't have to walk around saying, oh, you poor baby, how are you feeling? You know, what can I get? When we ask the word, how are you feeling? Let's really ask that word. And let's be open to how they're really feeling. So I love that you bring that to the table
Mhm.
in regards to how are they feeling and what do they really need for today? What do they need?
Yeah, ask, and then shut the front door and listen.
Exactly. I
This
love
is
that.
the front
I,
door, by the way.
yes, yeah. Exactly. Whoop, zip it up and just listen. You know,
Mhm.
as humans, we're really good at wanting to do a lot of da 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 da. And we really do have to ask ourselves, as you've said, you know, pay attention to what it is that you're actually saying. Is it really worthwhile saying, or can you just take a minute and close your mouth and internalize it in reference to, is this going to bring something valuable to the table? Or am I going to just create additional stress to this person's life? So I love your work. I love your work. The title of your book, your memoir, what's it
Of my
called?
memoir, Choose Joy.
Memoir. Yes, yes. Ah, yes,
Choose
we have,
Joy, a survivor's guide for hope.
yes,
I'm very, very proud of what I've written. I'm looking forward to, I've got two book signings coming up, one in November, one in December, and God knows what's in between.
yes,
And I'm the one that gets to choose. I
yes.
will no longer allow myself to operate from it, from that coffee cup that's just got a little bit left for me. Not a chance. My cup. I decide how I fill it. That's why this one says I'm not bossy, I'm the boss.
There you go. Yes, and I want you to bring that cover back again, your book cover back, because I
Yep.
want to point something out. Notice the colors. Every
Mhm.
color we spoke about today, throughout the day, is showing up in Nance's book. From the pink to the yellow to the red to the blue, turquoise blue, every
Yeah.
color that we literally talked about today. Such a
Mhm.
so perfectly aligned. I love it.
And
Make
we
sure
didn't plan all of this. We showed up, we brought our truth selves, our true gifts, and we celebrated each other.
yes, and that's what women do. That's what women do. This is one of the reasons why someone had asked me the other day, your cosmic energy, your cosmic evolution summit, it's all women. I'm like, yes. Like, why all women? I said, because women need to lift each other up. Women need to recognize that we're not in competition with each other. We work better when we work together. And when we do work together, we raise the vibration. So coming together, women, it's women power. Women power.
It's the
Lord
wolf
knows I've been
pack,
saying it forever. Women power. We are more powerful when we come together.
the wolf pack, the
Yes,
wolf pack.
yes.
The wolf pack is so powerful. The wolf pack is so powerful. For so many years, we've been spoken to and about as being a bitch.
Hmm.
Wolf pack,
Yes, yes,
wolf pack.
yes, exactly. So with all that being said, everybody, those who are watching from Facebook Live, this is where we're going to disconnect with you. We are going to go into our private settings so we can do our Q&A. So if you are watching live and you do want to jump into that Zoom room with us, this is your opportunity to go ahead and send that message out. Let me know that you want to come into the Zoom room, because then we're going to get some hands-on with Nance. And it's not recorded, and obviously it's not live, and it's meant that way so we can be intimate with each other and we can really take a deeper dive into a conversation that we've left off from here. So for now, Nancy, again, thank you for the work you do. Because it does, the work that you do is not for the weak. The work that you do, it's
No.
not for the weak. Emotionally, you have to be strong to do the work that you do, to show up, to support that person in whatever decision they're choosing.
Mhm.
So I commend you on what you
Thank
came
you.
here to do.
Thank you.
So we're all gonna say goodbye from the live.